Manga-Waido.
My name is Tetsuya Kurata. Without having a wealthy background or any smarts, I decided to skip university and start working after high school graduation. The person who hired me was Mr. Misaki, my uncle. My uncle, who runs a factory for machine parts, is an old-fashioned and bold person who says anyone can come work for me. They're happily welcome, allowing even people like ex-delinquents and convicts. I was scared of my senior colleagues at first, but they were all great people once you got to know them, and I was quickly able to blend in. Everyone appreciated my uncle for hiring them, and worked very hard in order to pay him and the company. I too worked hard every day with the same purpose. My uncle eventually told me, "The next boss is gonna be you, Tetsuya." I was sure it was just a joke until, after 20 years since I started working, "Alright, I'm leaving the rest to you." Me becoming the boss? Wasn't that a joke? What do you mean? I'm always serious. You're the most put together out of all of us, and everyone acknowledges you. I'm counting on you. Apparently, he's serious. I was worried at first about whether I could fill those shoes, but with the help of everyone who supported me throughout these years, I've somehow been able to do this job. Sometimes we were forced an unrealistic deadline and got attacked with words like, "You bottom-tier subcontractor." But with the support of people like our top-skilled employees, who skillfully puts out any potential fires, and the young employees with great negotiating skills who cleverly solve issues, we were able to somehow keep the business afloat. I've been feeling that since I'm not so reliable, the employees feel like, "We need to protect our boss no matter what," and are working very hard for me. If Uncle saw this through and chose me, he's a pretty impressive strategist. One day, as we were working hard like so, I received a call. "Hey, Tetsuya! Are you doing well?" "Yes, somehow. Thanks to everyone." "That's great. I'm sending a young one over tomorrow, so please put him to use." "Oh, does that mean to hire him?"
He's an acquaintance of mine. Don't worry. He might look a bit intimidating, but deep inside he's a nice guy. I swear on that. See you later. I'm counting on you."
Everything my uncle does is sudden and impulsive, but he has a great eye, and he's never been wrong before. It'll be alright as long as my uncle says so. The next day, I brought the earnest-looking young man to our reception room.
"My name is Kazuma Suzuki. I've come thanks to Mr. Masaki's invite."
"Yes, I heard. Is it true that you want to work here?"
"Yes. I'm not too smart, but I'll work very hard, so please hire me."
For some reason, I saw my young self inside of him, and felt a good impression. No wonder Uncle recommends him. "Everyone, this is Mr. Suzuki. He'll be working with us starting tomorrow."
"My name is Kazuma Suzuki. I'm 20 years old. I'm still inexperienced, but I will try my best."
Very good. Everyone, please teach him anything he needs to know. I'm counting on you.
Yes, sir!
At first sight, Kazuma was a nice and calm boy. I couldn't understand the meaning of the line, "he might look intimidating," that my uncle said. Kazuma does have a relatively gloomy and low-key quality to him, so maybe he was describing that as intimidating. Whenever I taught him something, Kazuma listened passionately while taking notes. As long as he takes the job seriously, I have no complaints. Kazuma could carry out anything he was taught once. I initially thought that making deals with partnering companies would be difficult for him, but he pulled even that off with ease. He wouldn't back down against even our scary-looking guests, and truly seemed reliable. "Uncle, Kazuma is doing really well. His responses and greetings are all loud and clear, so even the partnering companies like him."
That's great. He's a kid who could do anything once you teach him. So do me a favor and train him well.
"All right, roger that. But I can only trust him unconditionally for the first month after he joined the company." On that day, I accidentally saw it. "Hey, it's starting to rain!"
Hurry up and carry the packages. Don't get them wet.
When we were carrying a few packages outside, it suddenly started to pour. It rained like a squall, and all the employees, including me, became soaking wet. In the chaos, when I gave a quick look at Kazuma,
What?
through his shirt, I could see a giant tattoo of a dragon on his back. Tattoo? Why? Is it possible that Kazuma's a member of the Yakuza? He was avoiding talking about his past during the greeting party, but was that not because he was embarrassed, but because there was something he couldn't mention to us? Maybe it's that he still has connections with the Yakuza. But Uncle said he could be trusted, so relax. Eventually, I decided to ignore it for now. Why won't you pick up, Uncle? I tried to call Uncle and ask him what was going on, but he wouldn't pick up. Apparently, his phone is out of service right now. I thought about it alone for a few days, but in the end, decided not to ask anything about the tattoo. Even if Kazuma had a past that he could not tell anyone else, he's currently more diligent and works harder than anyone else. There's probably some type of reason for that tattoo. I'll wait until Kazuma decides to tell me himself. Even if he ends up not telling me, as long as he keeps working hard, I'll just keep employing him. After making that decision, I decided to act normal with him again. However, Kazuma started getting paler by the day and gradually seemed to get worn out. Kazuma, what's wrong? Are you feeling sick?
No, it's been very hot at night lately, and I haven't been getting much sleep.
Kazuma looks away, even though he always gives a straight look with a smile. Something's wrong. The thought was floating around in my mind, and on the next day, I came to find out the reason why. That day, while I was observing Kazuma, some other worker came over after lunch break and called him over. That worker's name was Hidaka. He was a senior to Kazuma and made deliveries for a company. The two went over to the other side of the factory. I got a bad feeling in my gut and decided to follow them.
Hurry up and give me the money. You want me to keep quiet about that thing on your back, right? But, I just gave you some last week and... Huh? Do you think you get to talk back to me for just 10,000 yen? If you don't want to hand it over, I can tell everyone about it, right? Anything but that. I'll pay you the money if that's what you want. 20,000 yen it is. Come on, hurry up and give it to me.
What are you doing?
Huh? Boss?
When I rushed over, Hidaka began to sweat and panic.
This is, yes, I had lent him. Lent him some money. What? That's what's going on, right? And you paid me back, didn't you? Uh-oh. Lunch break must be over. I better head back now.
Hidaka rushed away from the scene. Kazuma, is it true that you've been borrowing some money?
No,
Hey, if this is about the tattoo on your back and he's threatening you for it, please tell me.
What? Why do you know about that?
I explained what had happened on that rainy day to the now panicking Kazuma. Kazuma was hesitant at first, but probably decided that he couldn't hide it any longer. He began to talk about his past.
I was actually raised by horrible parents, and the people who saved me out of that environment were the Yakuza. I got the tattoo out of admiration towards them.
This is how Kazuma's story goes. He was born to parents whose lives were constituted by gambling. He was abandoned at home for days at a time since he was a little child. One day, a Yakuza member came over to retrieve some unpaid debts and found him almost dying of hunger. After being fed and raised in the house of the Yakuza, he began to admire them.
I wanted to become like the people I admired and got the tattoo, but it was a big mistake.
Turned out the Yakuza were only raising him so he could become an active member of criminal activities.
They told me to do things like take money from elders and attack people from other Yakuza groups, and I got scared. So I ran away.
After he ran away, he was saved by my uncle.
When I was sitting by the road with nowhere to go, Mr. Masaki saved me. He introduced me to the police and public support, and I was finally able to escape the Yakuza.
I see.
I'm sorry I never told you about this. I thought I would be despised if I did. Mr. Masaki told me that I don't have to say anything about my past that I don't want to, and I blindly followed his words. I'm so sorry I did something like deceiving you.
I was honestly surprised and had thoughts like, Uncle, you should have told me earlier. But for now, with him apologizing with tears in his eyes, there wasn't an inch of anger in me. Thank you for telling me. It's all right, don't worry.
Boss?
I already know that you're passionate about your work, Kazuma. The tattoo won't bother me at all, so don't worry.
Are you sure? But Mr. Hidaka told me that I'd be fired if you found out about the tattoo.
He said that? Jeez, if you'd get fired for that, there'd be a ton of employees who would be long gone.
What?
As long as they're out of the business, we hire lots of ex-delinquents and even convicts. They've already retired, but some people from the older generation had huge tattoos on their backs and even their chests. You don't have to worry at all about something like that. When I started laughing, the tension probably loosened up, and Kazuma started crying.
Thank you so much. I'm so sorry.
And apologizing. Now that that's over, the problem is... threatening younger workers is an unforgivable action! You're not fit for our company! You're fired!
Please don't! Forgive me. It was just an impulsive thought. I didn't mean any harm.
No sane human being steals money without meaning any harm. After you pay Kazuma back, pack up your things and leave. If you don't pay back the money or refuse to leave, we're gonna report you to the police. Hidaka kept complaining about this being an unfair dismissal, and we ended up asking our lawyer to take legal action. If only he'd calmly listened, his record wouldn't have been stained. Talk about what goes around comes around. Hidaka later came back to the factory, furious that since the police got involved, no employer would hire him, but although he showed up with confidence,
Hey, come out!
You still want to do this?
when our scariest employee cracked his knuckles, he ran away screaming. I mean, that's the kind of guy you'd expect him to be, but after that day, he never showed his face again. Kazuma has been working hard as always. Hello? Uncle? Finally! Where on earth were you?
Sorry. I was doing a lap around the world on a fancy cruise ship.
Jeez. Oh, I heard about Kazuma. The tattoo. If there's something like that, you should have told me before bringing him.
Huh? I told you, didn't I? And he might look intimidating, but he's a nice guy.
You were talking about the tattoo when you said intimidating? That's my uncle.
My bad. But he's a nice guy, huh?
Yes. He works very hard for us. Thanks to Kazuma, the mood in the factory is great, and the numbers are going up.
That's amazing. Do me a favor and treat him well. I'll come take a look at you guys once in a while.
That's what he said, but Uncle ended up going on a second lap around the world. And the next time we saw his face was half a year later. Enough about my too bold uncle. We're working hard every day with a great relationship between each other. Kazuma says his goal is to save up his money to remove the tattoo. I ought to support him so he can reach his goal quicker. All right, Kazuma, let's go out for dinner. On me.
Are you sure?
Of course, you deserve it. Order anything you want.
Come on, boss, that ain't fair.
We want to go too. Of course, we'll all go together.
All right! Let's drink until we empty the boss's wallet.
Go easy on me. Kazuma and everyone on the team. I'm counting on you all. Let's work together to make the most of this company.